Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and welcome back to Let's Play Amnesia Rebirth. This is episode 6. So last time we finally escaped the fort via the cistern that we had fallen into, and now we are back out into the desert, where we found the oasis, but are still making our way towards the town where the doctor and any other survivors of the expedition supposedly are. Now, I'm not sure what we're supposed to do about that doorway over there, because it doesn't seem like we could open it. Also, how are we doing on supplies here? We got... So, 6 out of 10, that's about 3 seconds of oil. We got a laudanum, we got a radio, Slim's ring, maca, we got a full thing of matches, and our bracelet. Nope, wait, we got reminders. That's not a reminder, that's just a big check mark. I guess that was just, hey, complete the area.
But what was it? What did you see?
A Ghūl. I remember that one. So, let's see. We came from over there. There was a pathway going this way with more of these posts. I really don't know what these are, or where they came from. Like, they really do just look like table legs or something, but there's a whole bunch of them. And we have another shrine.
Christ almighty.
Don't go near it. Tasi!
Follow. Hope. Life.
I think she's trying to help us.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. My god. It's a fucking devil is what it is.
Alright, so they ran into a spooky ghost woman, and Tasi was all for following it. I'm gonna guess that's probably what that glowing-eyed thing that keeps appearing is.
4th of March, 1937. I am Tasi tin-hanan. I survived the crash of the plane Cassandra. With me are Hank Mitchell, Yasmin Shabani, Dr. Anton Metzier, Leon de Vries, and Malik Tambura.
So not too many survivors reach this point.
Salim and others are in a cave near the crash and need help. Some have died. Richard Fairchild could not handle what we saw here. He ran. Alex Sterling has gone after him. We can't wait. We must do something that is utter insanity. Hank Mitchell, our leader and my friend, was badly wounded by a creature in the fort. Yasmin calls it a Ghūl, a flesh-eating monster from desert legends. She may be right. Hank is losing blood fast, and he will die. There is no time to get to help.
I mean, it did eat his flesh.
There is a shrine here, to a local spirit. This will sound like madness. She appeared to us. A figure of glowing light. She spoke to us. She offered healing and to save us from the desert, and I agreed. She led us to an amulet, hidden here in the shrine. I took it. Now there is a shimmering doorway in the rock. I swear it wasn't there before. If we step through, Hank might survive. He is so pale. Oh, Salim, I don't know what else to do. This is crazy. But I promise, I will return to you.
Alright, well, now we know a little bit more about what happened.
This is insane.
So I keep forgetting what this spirit is called, because I keep mixing it up with tin-hanan, but it had a similar sounding name. So now we know where we got the amulet. I actually don't know if we were wearing this at the start of the game. I wasn't paying attention to her wrists.
Nothing. I guess this is closed somehow.
Okay.
Where did she take us?
So this is a nerd. We're not going to be able to get through there. Is that a carving of like a super spider, or is that just coincidental? Well, presumably going through that rift is what ended up with Tasi suffering her condition. She got a little bit of the Ghūl oasis herself. Is that the radio?
Tasi? Tasi? Hello?
Yes, yes, I'm here, Doctor. Oh, it's so good to hear your voice.
Ah. You are still here. Well. Where are you?
The oasis. We were here before. What happened to us? I just read something I wrote. There's a spirit. A glowing spirit. I've seen her.
I will explain it all, Tasi. Come to the village. We have lit a beacon in the tower. Look for the smoke.
Oh, thank God. Thank you. Thank you. Doctor, you talked about my blackouts. I have these marks on my skin, and I keep losing control. You gave me a medicine. What's wrong with me?
I do not know for certain. We need diagnostic implements, reference books, civilization. Remember, Tasi, control yourself. Avoid fear. Avoid anger at all costs.
You wouldn't like yourself when you're angry.
Yasmin, she needs me.
Doctor? Doctor! Shit.
I'm still not wholly certain we can trust this doctor. But also, this is one of those cases where there's no reason he can't just fucking explain what happened over the radio, aside for dramatic effect. Like, we had a good signal there. He could have just been like, okay, so this is what happened. Instead, it's just an ominous, oh, come to the village and I'll tell
There's
you.
the smoke.
I'm thinking the reason that people don't like this game, because of course there is a loud minority that don't like this game. I say loud minority because it still holds, you know, a mostly positive rating in most places. Is that, unlike the original Amnesia, this one is very much a character-driven narrative rather than just a horror game. And they were expecting just a horror game, but the thing is, Frictional did say that this game only exists because they did Soma. And Soma was, of course, also...
Oh, little one. A village. People. A way home.
very much a character-driven narrative.
You'll love Paris. We'll go walking in the Luxembourg Gardens. I'll show you where Alice used to play.
Used to play.
Be okay, little one. Please be okay.
So yeah, this is just not the same kind of game that the original was, and I think that's what people are mad about. Because they don't like when series change. Also, I did a little bit of research, and yeah, it turns out I was wrong. The Emperor, well, not necessarily wrong, since I didn't actually know, but yeah, the Emperor Scorpion is native to West Africa. So, oh, vanished. Must have burrowed. It didn't look like one, though, because I don't know why it had white arms. Alright, so I don't think there's anything over here. It just looks like more dunes. But I can't help but feel that it will not be as simple as just reaching the village. And we might actually find everybody dead in the village by the time we get there. Thanks to a Ghūl attack. I'm still glad that this game likes to change up the environment and have you go from inside caves to actually out here in the sands. Plus, the fort itself was a good kind of change up in scenery. That looks like some kind of desert raptorial bird. Wasn't sure if that was a buzzard.
When we get to the village, you can meet the doctor.
That just leads back as well.
And Yasmin. She's from Algiers. She's nice. And we'll figure out what's wrong with me. All will be well. All will be well.
I take it the sun is actually coming up, because even though it didn't seem like we were underground that long, it's getting hot again. Obviously, that's why I'm getting the fear bubbles. when I'm standing in the sun. These don't look like natural formations, considering they have rebar coming out of them. Are these like buildings from the Otherworld leaking through? There's that pattern again. I have a feeling we might have another dimension hop coming up. Oh.
I really don't like this.
You don't like the strange geometry coming out of the walls? So we could just keep going, but there is a doorway here. Let's take a look over here. I have a feeling that we're not going to be able to progress.
No! Not now! Fuck! No! No!
I'm struggling. Okay, I thought she was just going to be like, oh, the way is blocked. But instead, I fell into a quicksand hole into another dimension.
Christ! We were so close! What the hell is this place now?
Boop. Boop. Alright, well, it looks like we're back in the Otherworld. There's that statue again. Woman with an egg. But this place looks less ruined than what we saw. Or sorry, ruined. Why are there just regular matches in here, though? That's a little, world-breaking, isn't it? So, I mean, Alexander's Otherworld did have electricity even 100 years ago, so obviously their technology is more advanced. It looks like we're actually in a building this time, and not just in the sand.
Oh, thank God. Thank God there you are, little one. I may not know where we are, but at least you're still with me.
Baby's been silent for a while, so... What is this? Some kind of strange instrument. A weird cube. Kind of feels like we're in some variation of a Dwemer ruin. Except there's less steam coming out of the walls. Also good to know that they apparently used oil in this world.
Either the well was very deep, or she fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time as she went down to look about her, and to wonder what was going to happen next.
Is that him reading more of Alice in Wonderland?
Oh, little one. Every step we take it feels like we're further from home.
Well,
There must be a way back.
at the moment, I don't think we could possibly be farther from home, because we're in, like, another dimension.
What the hell?
Auto-translating text tablets. Under the sign of Ranu, on the third rise, at the first calling, I, Atharu, make this record. I have completed the comparison of samples from the Empress and from the bones of her mother, Blessed Atua. It is clear now that both carried the sickness, although it did not manifest in the forebears. While Vitae is powerful enough to rebind bone and sinew, without repeated application the health again deteriorates. A single dose is no cure, it merely drives the decay back for a time. Tamaku orders that I test repeated application, quantities, insertion points, timing, in her name. So there's another mention of Vitae, which Alexander became familiar with. But we didn't know if that came from his world, that knowledge, or if he discovered it on his own. Under the sign of Ranu, on the 4th rise at the 8th calling, I, Atharu, make this record. As Tamaku directs, I have compared the most ancient of our records of the Empress's malady with the newly taken samples. In the earliest of samples, Tamaku was correct. The nutritive flow to both organs of generativity were intact, albeit reduced, and therefore they would have been functional before the spinal repair. However, since the influx of Vitae, the organs are now entirely withered. Why has the substance not reconstructed them? Did the degenerative malady affect them permanently before the treatment began? I have asked whether I should prepare a report for the Empress, but Tamaku informs me that this is unnecessary. It is, of course, merely of alchemical interest and no matter for concern, for she is eternal, in her name. Now, of course, the question might be, is the Empress also this spirit that we saw? I'm going to say probably not.
The woman from the oasis.
She was wearing this, though. Can we take this and just wear it? Got a weird tube coming out of it and everything. Okay. So this is a power source, it looks like. A wireless battery.
I find myself again confined. A day should not matter, but each day feels like waste. There is so much to do. Tamaku tells me that now, with Vitae, I have forever. But the people who depend on me do not. There is always something. Invasion, rivalry, sickness, penury. I have my duty. Perhaps I should end these sessions. Now they've found a way to stabilize the disease. I should be ecstatic. I should accept my fate and move on. It is such a faint hope that they can find any way to heal me. That they can find any way to grant my dearest wish. Now you are eternal, says Tamaku. Now you need no heir. None of them understand. This is not about politics or securing a future. This is not for the Empire. This is for me. Just for me.
Alright, so I guess the two organs of generativity he was talking about were literally the, ovaries. She just wants to have children, and no matter how much dead people's Vitae you inject her with, she doesn't repair. So, an immortal empress that survives off of Vitae. Oh, this one doesn't seem to work. Smash it on the table. Now, we found a note with, translations on it in that one little cupboard in front of the French fort, and I wonder if that has to do with this language here. Because there is a secret file in this game's folder, just like every other frictional game. They have a secret zip file that you need a password to unlock. And in the first game, that password was what you got from getting all the endings. Each one gave you a piece. I don't remember how you got it in Soma. I think it was written on a board somewhere in the game. Surely this is not the bed of the Empress. This is probably Tamaku's room. Can I pick this thing up? No. I was wondering if maybe I could jam that into this thing over here. See if that would fix it. Alright. So, can't do anything else in here. Right, this doesn't connect to anything else. Oh, it's connecting through the wall. Can I use this to open this door back here? Oh, no, wait. That was through a loading zone, wasn't it? I'm gonna say, in the room that we started in. But yeah, this door doesn't open from this side. Okay. It seems like it... Wait, do I have to... hold this thing up? There we go. Just had to find the right spot that would connect the power to the unpower. It's like an aura around this armor. Alright, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Let's just look over here first. Ooh. Weird catwalk floors. Imagine how uncomfortable these would be to walk on. Those are pretty wide spaces. Okay, that's just another locked door, so this whole area back here is pointless. I mean, obviously this is a puzzle. Get some rotating things. We've got whatever this lamp is. We got a box of cubes. That looks like a broken power cell. So there's a lot to process here. There's either a black hole or some kind of shield over that one. It's weird because it's also scrolling through other languages, so it's not just translating to ours. An orb. An orb of power.
Like it's waking up.
Careful you don't awake the guardian of the orb. Though I don't know if that applies if we're in its natural world. God, look at this horribly uncomfortable chair. I mean, it looks uncomfortable, but it probably isn't. It probably balances pretty well.
Another rift. That could be our way out.
Oh, is that what that is? That bubble? Put this thing in here. Okay, so I think we need to dial those coordinates there. Praise the sun, a fence, and half of a smiley face slightly cut off. Oh, we can adjust it from down here too. Okay. So yeah, half a smiley face is first. So I think it's here and then over one. Yep, that looks right. Dial her up. I don't know if it's working. Sounds like it's charging up. Oh, you know what? I probably gotta press that. Okay. Oh, there's... Never mind. I was gonna say, oh, there's another panel here, but that's the one we already fucked with. So, I think it's working. It's doing what it's supposed to do. I just don't know what we're supposed to do with that. Alright. So instead of actually giving me useful notes, this is just a picture of where I am. I feel like Daniel kept much better notes about what we should be doing. I put the orb in the thing, but I don't know what it does. Maybe I should find some use for it. So yeah, I don't know if this orb was, like, being charged. If I put the data in by doing that. Well, we can get outside.
What the hell is this?
Oh. I guess this is what happened to the people who were in here. Clearly some kind of apocalypse happened. And maybe not that long ago. Is this the Empress right here? Are you being kept alive by structure gel? Alright, well, we'll take this cylinder.
There was a white sun at the great gate. It tore the air and the land. A corruption of living flesh crawls from the hole in the world and turns all to ash and rust. The control stones have turned against my kindred, shaping them into floating wraiths of nightmare. The city falls. I am to blame. My companions took my formula, some to use it to destroy the Vitae at the gate, others to infect the Vitae pipelines and end the suffering. The gate has indeed fallen, but catastrophically, unleashing energies beyond belief. Still the factories scream. We have failed in the worst of ways. It is my duty to stay at my post, to see if I can find means to end it. I have no choice but to use the Vitae. An ocean holds the great Empress to life, so a meager portion will suffice for me. If any find this record, know that I was the traitor Kita, alchemist, apprentice to Tamaku. Forgive us our folly.
So it sounds like they opened a rift to somewhere else, and they were using that, perhaps to farm their Vitae? And instead, horrible nightmare creatures came out. A spreading corruption. So I don't know if this is the Empress or not, or just someone else being held alive. Is this Kite right here? I'm out of lantern. Well, hope this is not your eternal Empress. I don't think it is, though. I think this is just somebody else on life support. I mean, I killed someone just for their battery, but, you know, they didn't really seem that alive. A container brimming with etheric fluid. Alright, so there was a little desync there, and when I went to resync the audio and start recording again, it turns out I forgot to record the audio, and then I went and did the rest of the episode without recording any of my microphone audio, so it was all lost. About 10 to 15 minutes of audio. So, we're back here. Thankfully, this game keeps a series of autosaves. It doesn't overwrite any of the previous autosaves, so I could load back to this area and play back up to where we took these 2 batteries. So, that's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I'm glad it was only about 15 minutes instead of an entire episode, which I have done before with other games. Alright, so we have these 2 Leyden jars, but there is a few things here to check out before we head back up. Those are both broken. What is that exactly? That's kind of horrible. Whatever it is. Also, there is a human skull here. So either this is one of the people that were harvested for Vitae, or the people of this planet really do have the same, bodies as regular humans. Hard to tell from her over there, but, she's kind of corrupted with juice.
Timaku's early experiments with the Orbs summoned an entity, a creature, that scarred the world with its passing and wreaked utter destruction. The scar took the form of living, pulsating flesh. I have studied the Orb, and I now know why the scars appear. I believe I can make use of the same perturbation to achieve our own ends.
So that really throws a wrench into the whole thing about the Orbs being from this world, and, the Shadow being a guardian left to keep the people of Earth from using the Orbs. It seems like the people here discovered these Orbs as well, and the Shadow was just an inherent part of them. I like the meat background.
It has taken me many, many rises in the gaps between my work for Timaku, but finally it is done. I have a formula which is in sympathy with the pulse of the Orb. I can provoke the symptoms of the red flesh, and with it will come destruction, channeled through the Vitae network. This might be the answer we seek.
And is probably also the reason this world is now a wasteland. This really does seem like one of those SCPs that just lead to another world that has been destroyed by some kind of, terrible hubris. Like the one where they injected themselves with god fluid and then turned into giant goop monsters. This definitely seems like that. And I guess our Traveler's Locket would be the SCP in this case. Alright, so we learned a bit more about the Shadow, which I really didn't think there was going to be, Shadow lore here that would tell you more about what it is. But I guess we're getting both more information and still proving how unknowable it is, because even these people with their advanced technology don't know what it is. Alright, I gotta do this puzzle again because I didn't redo it. However, what I did notice is that the solution is actually right here, more or less. It's like, align the things, power up to there, and then you can send things through using 2 batteries. Because of course, over there is the door that we need to get to that golden rift. So, let's quickly realign these. What was it? It was cut off smiley face, praise the sun, and I can't remember what I called the last one, but let's call it like a deer this time. So that was, I think, up here and over. Alright, the Stargate is aligned. put in the orb. And then we take our 2 batteries we found. These etheric power cells, which actually remind me of Absolov here. Very similar kind of batteries. Oh, I forgot to hit the ignition. Alright, so now we got this thing on, and as you can see, it's a teleporter. They were doing some teleportation experiments here. Which maybe that's the reason that there are also rifts ripped open across the planet, is because they were working with teleporters. Alright, so where is my power core? This little sucker here. If we teleport it over there, we can power the door. Alright. Now let's shut this thing down.
The tower. Smoke. That's the town. And the doctor. But how can that be?
I'm not really sure why that appears on the orb itself. The orb doesn't have any dimensional travels.
Changed. The air. It's foul.
Yeah, Tasi, maybe you should just drop this orb and not bring it with us, because, that's likely to get the Shadow's attention.
What is this?
Here comes the meat. And just like last time, passing through from the Otherworld back to our reality seems to drop Tasi into this memory world. At least it seems like it's made of memories, despite the giant fetus in the distance. Is that Alice in the distance? Even she's being censored from our memories, just like Salim.
What are you doing, little one?
1 and 1.
Yes, but what is 1 and 1?
3.
Alice?
Alice can't play. Alice can't play. Alice is gone. Don't worry, Mama. I'm here.
Alright, take me home, fetus. As you expand.
Alice? Alice! Salim! Salim, quickly!
Somehow I don't think Elise is waiting back in Paris with her grandmother. It really did get bigger.
No. No, 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 no. You're so much bigger. This can't be real. Wake up. Wake up, Tasi. Oh, God. Oh, God, Mother Mary. What am I going to do? Come on. Come on. Pull yourself together.
E.T.? That really doesn't look like a dead human. Even slightly mummified. So we are in some kind of burial chamber, which you might think is the burial chamber we saw on the map next to the town, or the burial mound. But I guess it's a little bit of a spoiler that according to the autosave, this is the tomb of Tin-hanan. Anyhow, I've already done this section as well. I actually did this whole part before ending the last episode, this episode. But it's not a very long part, so I think I'm just going to save it for the start of the next episode instead of going through this again. But yeah, we're almost back into unfamiliar territory for me. It's just unfortunate that that happened, but again, I'm glad that it's not like the other game I had to restart entirely and play through like 3 hours of it to get back where I was because I overwrote my save with a new episode. That was Daymare that I had to do that. Alright, so until next time, I've been Shadefire. Thank you for joining me once again with Amnesia Rebirth, and I hope that you're enjoying this playthrough, even if the game is not what you were expecting. But, until next time, take care, folks.